Hello and welcome back to Mel the Bombshell. On this table already is my current DualSense controller collection. Currently I've got the Hogwarts Legacy Edition controller, Helldivers 2 controller, 30th anniversary, light blue, magma red, Spider-Man 2 edition, and the DualSense Edge. And today we're going to be adding to this collection because inside this box is Sony's most recent special edition controller, which is the Last of Us 2 Edition DualSense controller. So this controller was a little bit controversial online with its design. A lot of people just didn't really like it, but I'm a sucker for black and white designs, so I had to pick this up. Even though I'm not the biggest Last of Us fan, I still thought that this was a really cool controller and wanted to get to see this in that more hands-on look. I've missed out on a couple of Sony's more recent special editions like the Astrobot controller and the Concord controller. Didn't get to pick those up and kind of wish I had, so I wasn't going to let myself miss out on this one and regret that in the future. So even though my bank account is a little bit smaller, my controller collection is a little bit bigger, so it's good enough for me. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take an up close look at this controller and see what all the design elements are really about. Alright, so similar to every other Sony DualSense controller, it is just your standard box. However, the box is themed with The Last of Us. So it's got just like a faded gray look on the background, the bold outline and picture of the controller, white PlayStation, Sony DualSense lettering, limited edition Last of Us down here. The side of the box has Ellie on there, some of the plants, and The Last of Us. The back just has a different image of our controller. Heighten your senses, just like with the DualSense. As you can tell, this is still brand new and sealed from Sony. And same thing on the other side, just shows compatible with PS5. Image of Ellie, Last of Us. Alrighty, let's go ahead and open. Got it cut open. And let's go ahead and pop our tab. And I'm just going to slide this out. It doesn't want to slide out. So it's packed in there pretty tight. Did they change the packaging from the Helldivers one? Goodness. Holy crap. Like, I'm pulling pretty hard. Okay, getting a little bit. Okay, there we go, finally. Shoot. Oh, and the controller just falls out. So that was insanely difficult to get out of here. I don't know why. And as you can see, the controller did just fall out of there, which kind of sucks. But let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at the controller itself. So inside of the box, we have the controller wrapped up in plastic, as well as the paperwork that goes along with it, just giving you a guide, all the warning and safety information, all that good stuff. And in these boxes, Sony no longer includes a USB-C charging cable whatsoever. Just be aware of that. If you do purchase an extra controller from them, you will need to buy a charging cable in order to charge the controller if you don't already have one. And here we've got the controller, so let's go ahead and unwrap. Wow. So I've not had a DualSense with the white thumbsticks. I'm worried about how these are going to wear, especially with just fingers being on them. I have a used DualShock 4 controller of the Spider-Man, and they have yellowed quite a bit, assuming because the person that owned it before me had gross hands, but I don't really know for sure. But I really like the contrasting black and white design. So on the front, we have a lot of shout outs to the Last of Us games. The overall paint job of the controller plates are a very matte black, just like the matte black controllers that you can buy, except these have a gloss black print, giving some of the images and shoutouts to the Last of Us series of games. On each handle side of the controller, there is a white insignia as well as the gloss black insignias, which really stand out across all of the matte black and glossy black designs. Same with on the touchpad, we have another stark white insignia that really contrasts against everything else behind it. I like having a little bit more white on the black as it does pull in the stark white bottom here, with everything about the thumbstick being white, the entire inside being white, and that PlayStation button even being painted white. If we move to the top, you'll see that our triggers and bumpers are also the white plastic. So we go back to this, except they do stand out because they are against a black backing plate, as well as the black front, and even a gloss black interior. The back of the controller is pretty basic. It just says The Last of Us in white print. And of course we see the really cool texture pattern. It may be a little bit difficult to tell on here, but this texture pattern is actually the square, circle, cross, and triangle patterning, just really small to create the textured backing. I didn't know this until a coworker of mine pointed it out on the controller. If we look at the bottom, the white does span down into this, which kind of looks like an Oreo or something, but once again, I am a sucker for black and white contrast, so I actually kind of dig it. And of course, this is just your regular DualSense, so it's just got your basic inputs on the front, nothing special on the back like it is on the edge, but still among all of Sony's other controllers, this one does stand out. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how they tied in The Last of Us to this design. This controller was still available at the time of filming. If it is still available whenever I upload, I'll leave some links down in the description below in case you want to purchase a Last of Us DualSense for yourself. So let me know down in the comments below what you think about this Last of Us themed DualSense controller. Are you a fan of the design, or is it not really your favorite? If you do have another favorite DualSense controller, make sure you leave that down in the comments as well. And if you enjoy seeing these special edition controllers or seeing up close look at some special edition controllers, make sure you like this video and go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because I'm always looking at cool special edition hardware just like this controller and a lot of the controllers that you see in front of you. With all of that said, I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all again soon here on Mel the Bombshell. Alright, bye! So I think I figured out the problem. They didn't fold this cardboard correctly. And it's pretty annoying trying to get it back into the box as well as get it out of the box. But whatever, I suppose.